to the Heirloom Library, and I hope you'll pull up a chair, get a cup of tea, and join me as we discuss this more contemporary novel. It is by Karen White. It is called Flight Patterns, and she wrote this in, I believe, May of 2016. Itch. I have read most of her books. I really enjoy her writing very, very much. And so I thought today, it's a beautiful day, I thought I'd kind of get out of the antique side of the books and talk about a more contemporary novel. This one actually is where it focuses on an antique piece of, or actually an antique set of china, of Haviland china. One of the reasons it particularly spoke to me is I love antique china. I have many, many pieces that I have been fortunate enough to inherit, and I have decorative plates and bowls and sets and cups and saucers and all kinds. So I particularly like the theme of this, if you will. And anyway, it is about a set of Haviland china. And it starts out with the main character, Georgia. She actually works for an antique shop, and her specialty is china, in particular in Haviland. So I'd like to read just a short excerpt here. It says, "Do you know this pattern?" I shook my head. I don't think so. I flipped over the teacup, seeing the familiar Haviland and Company marking. I swiveled my chair and reached for the bookcase behind me and pulled out a thin book with a spiral binding, one of a 6-volume set. But if it's been identified, it will have been given a Schleiger number and will be cataloged in one of these books. And if it's not there, well, it could have been a privately commissioned pattern, or such a rare one that it never made it into the catalog. Mrs. Schleiger was a Nebraskan trying to fill holes in her mother's set of china, and was appalled at the lack of pattern names on most of the Haviland china, and did her best to identify as many as she could, hence the name Schleiger number. But the scope was too great to include every pattern ever created. And the book goes on to where she actually does recognize the pattern. It has bees on it, and she doesn't acknowledge that at the moment. And she goes back home to Florida to talk to her grandfather, and therein lies the backstory. It actually starts, the storyline starts in World War II, and even that in World War II, it does address how many families got separated, and sometimes never to be reunited again, and so it kind of goes into that weave of familial family, and also what can bring them together. One of the things, and it's so true what they were talking about with the Haviland china, books are great. They are so easily identifiable. It is rare when you see a book that doesn't, at the very least, show the author and the date it was published. Not so much with china. I have here, and in fact at the beginning of my video series, you will see this showcased. And this is actually Haviland, and it is all hand painted, and each cup, each saucer, each piece is painted a different pattern. no two pieces are the same. And this is a very large tea set. It's a high tea set from the 1860s, actually, Victorian. And so needless to say, this is, I have my little friend here, Rascal's going to help me. I actually, this is a case where it would be a commissioned piece by a family, especially because it's not a pattern. So you couldn't look it up and say, oh, this is a wildflower pattern. That's the only thing that is particularly consistent in this set, is that it is wildflowers. And so it kind of brings to mind of how challenging it can be to look up antique pieces. And since I kind of do a little bit of the books and antiques from my Etsy store, it brings that into play too. You know, originally it was extremely hard to find anything about an unsigned piece, and there's a lot of them. Some of them are signed, but pottery in particular is easier to identify most of the time, because most of the time it does have some kind of signature on it. Glassware, not so much. Certainly silver, it has hallmarks, so that's easy to identify too. But this is the teapot and the sugar and creamer are embossed, and that's where you actually can start to trace where the background of this particular set, and the fact that too it was made in the 1860s. Again, a lot of things going on from France into the United States. They even sold blank pieces that artists would, home families actually would paint. I'm thinking of an artist, because actually my great aunt, this picture behind me, she painted, but she was a landscape artist in the late 1800s. And so she, because I came across some blanks that she had painted, which were beautiful. So anyway, I thought I would share a little bit about that today. And, you know, again, the love of books to take us back to a particular point in time and transport us to World War II, and talk about what transpired then, and then it's does have a lot about bees themselves, which I thought was interesting, but does not quite entice me, I think, to go get a beehive. I think I just as soon watch them from a distance. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this session with me, and we'll come visit again. And I'm going to have a little bit, talk a little bit more about the Victorian tea set in just a few minutes. So join me for that too. Thanks. Well, hello, and welcome to the other side of the Heirloom Library, where I, on occasion, am going to show you some of the things that I have on the Etsy store. And actually, this particular set is, you will see when you first see the intro to my channel, it is the 1860s Victorian tea set, which I did just talk about in the video that I did. And I thought I would give you a little bit more of a closer look, because you can't really see as well. But we talked about the fact that these pieces are all hand painted, and you can see my finger on there. This is the mark of fine porcelain, and it also has another matching teacup, And everything is different. There is no two sets that are exactly the same. And here's a couple of saucers that go. Of course, the one nice thing with this is you can put whatever you want together because it doesn't not match, so it's always a match. And this is the creamer, which, as you can see, is a little larger than most creamers that we would use today. And this again has the beautiful decoration on here. This has got actually embossing on the gold here on the handle, and this is the other side, again different, but still that beautiful embossing there, and the handle is all beautifully done and into the creamer itself. And this is one that has the embossed marking on it, which is really hard to see, but that's how it was helpful to determine what this piece was. Not really sure why they had such large pieces of the creamer, and of course the sugar is huge as well. Anyway, I do have this whole set for sale on my Etsy store, and I would love to see this go to a wonderful historic home. I mean, right now it's just actually in my cupboard. It's not displayed at all, which is a shame because it's such a unique and beautiful piece, but it's also very large because it's not only just putting out the teapot and the cream and the sugar takes up a lot of space, but it does have a lot of pieces. It's a 10-piece set. So anyway, if you or somebody you know is looking for an historic high tea Victorian set, I hope that you will come to my store and take a look at that. And you know, the other thing could be is if you know somebody that has a nice tea store that they do high tea, that also could be a wonderful home for this set. So I am actually going to leave a special coupon on the description and to go to my Etsy shop, which is I'm going to leave all of that on the description below. And it's this way you can have a discount, so then that would just be unique to the viewers of this video. So I hope you enjoyed this little delve into the past, and go take a look at my shop. And it's my heirloom chest shop, and so you can take a look, and I have lots of things on there, so certainly don't just look at the tea set. There's a lot of other beautiful china pieces, there's silver, there's textiles, all kinds of things, because I inherited a lot of stuff. So thank you again for joining me. Appreciate it.